Hey guys, LE here. Today I have a Q&A video for y'all. Q&A, for those of you who don't know, is questions and answers. So I think I made a video, what was it, last week, and I asked y'all to leave any questions you had for me about any sort of topic, whether it be farm related or not, in the comment sections. And I appreciate you guys for leaving such thoughtful questions, asking whatever was on your mind. And so today I've chosen 10 questions that I want to answer thoroughly and in depth for y'all. This is my best attempt at a long video because a lot of you have requested to see longer videos from me. My dad is known for making super long videos, some of them 40 minutes to an hour, some even more than that. And so this one I predict will be pretty long. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alrighty guys, question one, as you can see, is about Skippy. And the question is basically just, how is Skippy doing? Because I haven't done an update video in a good while. It's been probably 2 or 3 weeks since Skippy's been in a video. And so I don't know why that is. I guess other things have come to my attention. Other video topics have sort of taken precedence over that. But as you can see, Skippy is doing great. Look at him. He's so calm and sweet and gentle. I've handled other chickens that could not sit still for a second. I know that chickens and roosters normally don't like being held, but some of the other ones that I've encountered, they would like be wiggling and fighting, trying to peck me, doing everything they possibly could to get out of my arms. But Skippy right now, it may not be his favorite thing. He may not want to have cuddly time with LE, but at least he's not putting up much of a fight. He's just sitting here, just relaxing. He has to know that he's okay and that everything is cool. So I'm gonna set him down. I'm gonna show you guys how he's been walking. All right guys, so I put Skippy down and y'all can see that he's definitely putting more weight on that right foot, the one that had bumblefoot and that had the kind of deformed talon. You can see him definitely putting a lot more weight on it. That should be pretty clear. And so I hope that y'all can see that he's doing so much better. He's running around pretty good, and I'm really happy to see him in not nearly as much pain, doing a lot better. I was gonna say something, but I can't really remember. It escapes me. I guess the donkey's in Jacob's way. Move, Imogene! I think that the way that he's walking could be a little bit just out of habit. I remember my dad and Jamie told me a story one time about a chicken that had a piece of string wrapped around one of its feet, and it kind of had to hop around almost like, what is that? Is it called the hacky sack race? Like a three-legged race? That's what it's called, right? With the hacky sack, like, you know,
hacky sack is a hacky sack race. A three-legged race is when you and your partner have your one of your legs tied together.
Okay, those are different things.
Sack, you're in like a burlap sack or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. As I was saying though, there was a chicken my dad and Jamie told me about that one time had a piece of string wrapped around one of its legs, and it was walking around kind of funny like you would in I guess a hacky sack or three-legged race for about a week. And so when he was found and when the string got removed, he still continued walking the same way that he'd been walking for the past week, even though he had no reason to anymore. And so that's why we believe that feathered animals like this can remain stuck in habits they picked up even if they don't have to anymore. You know what I mean? So I almost wonder if even once Skippy's leg is 100%, if he'll still walk that way, just because that's the only way that he's known to walk his entire life. All right, guys, here I am in Pawpaw's yard with none other than Pickles for question number 2. And question number 2 is, LE, how did Pickles come to live at Pawpaw's house with his goats? Wasn't he a baby of Ringo and Meg? The answer to that is yes. Pickles was a baby of Ringo and Meg's. Meg had 3 litters of babies, and then she passed away when she was pregnant with the 4th. Pickles was part of the second litter, and he was one of 3 babies in that litter. I have some cute pictures of him, in fact, when he was a baby. Y'all check this out right here. I'm going to put it on the screen. Isn't that cute? Yeah, it is pretty cute. in any case, though, Pickles came to live at Pawpaw's house because Gigi, my grandma, wanted a little yard goat. And so my dad let them have Pickles, and Pickles was kind of a feisty one. He was kind of crazy, and I guess for whatever reason, being a yard goat didn't end up working out. I think it's because Pawpaw told me the other day, but I forgot. I think it was because he was like chewing all the plants and stuff, but he couldn't be a yard goat. That didn't work out, and so now he's just become a pasture goat, or like a little yard goat with all these other guys. And he has good friends. He obviously is the only one of his color, so he is impossible to mistake. All these right here, these are super easy ones to mistake because they all look the same. This right here is like the Gronkowski twins. All four of them look the same. I can't tell which one's which. But yeah, these are easily mistakable. Pickles is not, though. And so Pickles lives a good life over here. Many of you have asked about his leg. He was born with a very weird, I think Pawpaw says like a double jointed leg. It's very bizarre, but I'm gonna try to record it right here so y'all can see. If he'll face me, then you'll be able to tell. Sorry, Pickles. But can y'all see like how the front left leg is misshapen? Especially from this angle, you can, oh, look at that. Oh, this looks so nasty. It looks like it's like broken, but it's not. He's just kind of, it's the way he's always been, is like a double jointed leg or something. But either way, he's doing fine. Alrighty, guys, for question number 3, it goes something like this. Ellie, I saw on your dad's Facebook page that you're now coaching a Peewee football team. What's that all about? Question mark. Oh, you know, that's just something that I started doing very recently. I signed up to be a flag football coach for the YMCA. I'm sure most of you know what that is. Obviously, the YMCA and what flag football is. Flag football is a safer alternative to regular football, because in real football they tackle and they hit each other with pads and a helmet and stuff, so it's kind of violent. But in flag football, it's a more delicate version, because you stop someone by pulling their flag instead of having to tackle them to the ground. So it's a lot safer and there's a lot fewer injuries. And so you know, lately with different things that I've been doing, man, those geese are distracting. Where are they at? Those geese are very, very distracting right now. Guys, what's the matter? What's the matter, you guys? Oh, no. Oh, man. How many geese are there right here? I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There are 14 geese right here. Can y'all believe that? I can't even tell which ones are the top geese. They all look the exact same except for Lydia, of course. Hey, can y'all find the imposter among us? Where's Waldo? I spy one that looks different than the rest of them. Can y'all tell me which one it is? It's so hard because they all look so similar, right? I'm just kidding, of course. Obviously, it's this one that looks different than the rest, because he has a bigger belly at the bottom than the others do. Just jokes, guys. I'm just kidding with you. All right, let me get out of here. I was trying to tell a story, and I was trying to answer question number 3. There's no way I can answer it with them right there. So back to what I was saying. Question number 3 is about my Peewee football team. So I signed up as a flag football coach for YMCA, and I'm coaching 8 and 9-year-olds. This is my first time I've ever officially coached before. I spent a lot of time just drawing up plays, kind of doing stuff on Madden, the football video game, kind of toying around, tinkering with things. But this is the first time I've ever actually had a team that I'm solely in charge of, and that I have to decide. Oh man, they're going to come and interrupt me again over here. Let me walk away. This is the first time I've ever been solely in charge of a team before. And so this is my first chance to really put my knowledge and put the plays that I drew up to the test. We've played 2 games at this point. We won both of them, so we're 2-0. They don't technically keep score at YMCA, but I've been keeping score in my head because, what can I say, I'm competitive, you know? But you know what's really awesome, guys, was especially our second game last week. My mom and my dad both came to it, and so it was awesome to have them there. But what's crazy is that right as soon as the game started, the game almost got canceled, first of all, for inclement weather. But right as the game started, it started pouring down rain. Oh man, the skies were cloudy, so we had a feeling that something might happen. I mean, I didn't know. They didn't let us know until 7 a.m. that we were even going to have a game because they almost canceled it. But as soon as the game started, oh, the rain started pouring down. We got soaking wet within about 2 or 3 minutes. It was kind of chilly that day, so the kids were like, "Oh, it's cold, coach, it's cold." And you know, the refs and the coaches, they almost decided to like cancel it, but we ended up playing it out, and it was a super fun experience. It's one that I hope the kids remember for a lifetime. I have a little bit of video that my mom and my dad took of the game, and man, it was just an amazing memory. Y'all check this out. Oh no. But yeah, guys, that was awesome. Coaching a game in the pouring rain. This isn't just sprinkling. This is like the field is wet, the ball is wet. You can just look up in the sky and it's just pouring down like a not quite a monsoon, but it was raining really, really heavily, and the kids had a great time. That when I was a kid, when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I remember that it was the coolest thing in the world to go outside in bad weather and play football like the football players on TV did, like the NFL players that I looked up to, because they'll play games in the snow, they'll play games in the rain and different things like that. And so to be able to like live that out, to sort of be like the people you look up to, it was really awesome. And I bet you that's how a lot of the kids felt as well. So it was great. All right, guys, here we are for question number 4. And this one, I'm not going to lie to you, it's actually pretty interesting. And so I'm happy to be able to share this with y'all. So question number 4 goes something like this. Well, did y'all see Annie running in the background? I'm going to replay that. Well, that was so random. Or goes something like this. Well, did y'all see Annie? Anyways, question number 4 says, Ellie, what is the lifespans of the animals on the farm? What I guess, what are their life expectancies? And you know, that's a really good question to ask, because that is something that we ought to consider, is how long we can expect to have some of our favorite animals with us. So I did some quick Google searches. I didn't go on Google Scholar. I didn't like go to the library and find peer-reviewed information or anything like that. So this is just quick Google searches. Y'all are welcome to fact check yourselves after this video if you like. But basically, I just kind of went and did quick glances at how long the different species we have on the farm are expected to live. And I wrote them down on this piece of paper, so let me share with y'all. First off, you guys will not guess which animal has the longest life expectancy here. Is it a turkey? No, a turkey has a life expectancy. I didn't even write turkey down actually, but I wrote chicken down as 5 to 10 years, so I assume it's around that same range. Is it a donkey? No, donkeys are 25 to 30 years. Is it a horse, like old Bucky's right there? No, theirs are also 25 to 30, maybe 35 or 40. Is it a longhorn? No, longhorns are 20 to 30 years. So who could it possibly be, huh? Who is expected to live the longest? Ding, 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 right there. Can y'all believe that, guys? Out of all the animals here, there is only one species that is projected to maybe outlive all of us, and it would be Mr. Carl right there. Ostriches have a life expectancy of about 40 to 50 years, maybe even more sometimes. So can y'all believe that not only has Carl been the biggest hit of all time at the I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, he's also the animal who is projected to live the longest. So how about that for some information of the day? I already went over several animals doing that little joke. So I covered donkeys, horses. I see goats. I see Sissy behind Cornholio. I see Pebbles right there. Goats are about 15 to 18 years on average. Pigs, like old Trudy over there, are about 15 to 20 years. What else do we have? Hey Carl, what's up, buddy? Alpacas are about 15 to 20 years as well. What else am I missing? Cats, I didn't even Google cats because I've done a lot of research about how long cats live because I'm a cat person. I know that the indoor ones can live around 18 to 22 years. Some of you guys have even told me yourselves about how you have kitties that are 20 or 21 years old, and it's really awesome. They're elderly, but they're still hanging on. Still hanging on to life. What else am I missing? I forgot to do ducks. Did I write goose? Oh yeah, for goose, it's about 20 years, I think, for like a domesticated goose, kind of like the ones that we have here. I didn't write down ducks. Seeing Chia right here reminds me that little dogs can live longer than big dogs. I do know that. As far as boxers, like Maggie and Trixie, you're looking at about 10 to 12 years, which I think is true because my dad's always raised boxers and they unfortunately haven't had the longest lifespans. Beagles can live a little bit longer than that, about 12 to 15. And then tinier dogs like Chihuahuas and other things. I don't even know what Chia is. You guys probably do though, but smaller dogs like this can live even longer than that, like more like 18 years. And come to think of it, Chia actually is, I think, an older dog. She has been around a long time. Sister Kim has had Chia even since I was a kid. So, yeah, chicken about 5 to 10 years. I see a few chickens right there. Yeah, about 5 to 10 years. And that's about all that I wrote down, guys. So that's how long we can expect to have some of our favorite animals around on this planet with us. And so that about sums up question number 4. I'm trying to get Carl in the frame. Oh, he walked away. All right, question number 5 though is, Ellie, how have you been doing as far as learning farming goes? Does it change your opinion about the work required for farm life? You know, that's a good question. There's a lot of things over the past 2 years that I've learned about farming, stuff that I never would have even considered before that. It might seem kind of easy just watching videos and not knowing a lot about it firsthand, but as you begin to experience it, you realize there's a lot of hidden work that goes into farm life, a lot of things that aren't apparent unless you go through them firsthand. And I haven't even been through that much compared to my dad and Jamie, so they'd probably be better suited to answer that question because they've done a whole lot more, know a whole lot more about the nuances of farm life than I do. As far as what I can say though, it took blood, sweat, and tears to build all these fences you see. Let me turn the camera around. You see so many different things built besides the house. Look at just about everything else that you see, every other building, shed, the Little's Haven, fences as far as the eye can see. Another barn, horse stall, stable, thingy-majig, gates, fences. This. Years and years worth of farm work, you guys. Years and years worth of labor, blood, sweat, and tears from hardworking men went into building this stuff. I've talked about it before, about how my dad is responsible for the vast majority of what's been built here. And so he could probably answer the question the best. Jamie too, because Jamie handles other aspects of it, like watering the babies. Animals cannot go long without water, as you guys know, so it's essential to refill their water frequently. Jake lately has been doing this job right here, the mulching, dragging this for the poop and whatnot, managing the waste that the animals secrete, especially when you have so many. feeding them every day, like what to feed them and how much of it to feed them. Do you want to feed them more of a bulky diet with a bunch of grains, or do you want to have more of a balance with less grains, less hard food, less heavy food rather, and a little bit more of like lighter things like hay? And so there's a pond over there that had to get dug by people with machinery and tools. It goes on and on. I can go on and on forever, guys. But the point is that yes, there is a lot of things that go into farm life that isn't immediately apparent, and it's stuff that I've learned about just kind of being around and seeing it, and from being told. So it's definitely made me think about ways to do things more strategically. You know, it's always easy when you can look back in hindsight and see something that was done wrong and know how you'll do it again next time. It's not really fair to my dad if I say that, oh, my dad did this and he should have done this, because my dad doesn't have any hindsight to go off of. This is the first time that any of us have really done a lot of things around here. And so just like with anything in life, it's always easier the more times you get to do it than it is the first time. You can look at the history of pro football, for example. The pioneers and the innovators back in the 1920s and 30s and 40s were doing it the best that they could, but they had no hindsight to go off of. So they were kind of just experimenting, seeing what worked. And then the next generation, the people in the 50s and the 60s, they learned from their mistakes, and football evolved and got better. And then after that, the players from the 70s and the 80s, in the 90s, they got even better. They learned different passing schemes and things that worked. And now we're in a generation where football is at an all-time high as far as the peak performance that people have, the high tech, the intricate plays that people run and different things like that. So these kind of things evolve. And likewise, with farm life, I have the benefit of kind of seeing my dad and Jamie's trial and error. And so I can learn a lot of things from the positives and the negatives. And so that's a benefit of having hindsight. And I'm sure that whoever comes after me will be able to learn from my mistakes and evolve it even more. So that's kind of just the way that these things go. I would say that just about summarizes. I could go into specifics. I will on a different video, like what specific things I'm talking about that will evolve. But as far as farming goes, I would summarize it like that. You learn different techniques and you can evolve and try to make things easier. As Jacob always says, work morrow, not harder. All right, guys. Question number 6 is, Ellie, do you have any pets at your mom's house? Oh, there's a bug on me. And if so, what kind of pets are they? I have 2 pets at my mom's house. Cup and Cake, those are my 2 kitties. They're twins. I'm guessing that this person is a bit newer to my page, because for those of you that have followed me since the very beginning, back in early 2020, y'all know that I do have 2 cats at my mom's house, because I've made a couple of videos of them before. And it's a pretty long story. Cup and Cake are awesome, though. I'll tell you what, I made a video about their story. It was called, I think, Spotlight Story of Cup and Cake on my channel. So if you go back far enough to the beginning, then, or if you search it in YouTube, then you'll be able to find it. But in that video, I went pretty in depth on the story of Cup and Cake. So I don't want to go through the whole story right now because it's quite long, but I can just say that they're amazing kitties and I love them with all my heart. They're awesome. They're great. And so, yeah. All right, guys, question number 7. I like this one. It says, Ellie, have you found a good church with solid theology to attend lately? I assume this person probably asked this question because recently I said I didn't have a church that I was actually attending. I hadn't found one that I liked. And to answer that question, though, yes, I am attending a church now that I enjoy. It's called The Sanctuary. Ironically enough, that's the name of the church, The Sanctuary. But, you know, this is the first time in my life that I've ever been excited and been 100%, I guess, eager and joyful to attend church. In the past, I knew it was good to go and I wanted to go, but a little bit of it was kind of, I guess, burdensome, kind of like I felt like I had to. Otherwise, I would make God angry with me, or like I wouldn't have good favor with him. But I've learned that God doesn't work that way, that we're to do things in joy and in love for him. An analogy I use is kind of like this. With my girlfriend, I wouldn't want her to do something for me because she's afraid of me or because she thinks I'm going to get angry with her if she doesn't. I want her to do things for me because she loves me with all of her heart. and because it's a joy for her to see me happy. And so I feel that it's the same way with God. And so I'm very happy that I found a church that I'm excited to attend. And it's not even about the church. It's not about a building at all. The people there are nice. Of course, it's always good to have like-minded individuals. But more importantly, other than whatever doctrine any group or any sort of people try to tell you, it's about what the Word of God says, I've learned. So I double check everything anybody tells me with Scripture, and my beliefs and the way I live my life will not be about whatever any denomination, what any person believes. It's about what the Word of God says and what King Jesus tells me himself. That's how I choose to live my life, and that's how we all need to live our lives, is to let God tell us above what any man says. You know what I mean? And so kind of going on that note, there's another comment that I saw on a video recently, and they said something like, "LE, I appreciate your perspective and how you're not pushy like a lot of other Christians are." And there's a time and a place for that. A lot of people's personal convictions, the Spirit will lead them to be very assertive and authoritarian and different things like that. And so I will never knock someone for the way that God uses them. I know the Spirit can use different people in an infinite number of ways. And so the wind blows where it wishes, as it's written in Scripture. So I appreciate anybody that does anything for the sake of Jesus' name. But I guess for me, my personal conviction has been a little bit different than that. My personal conviction, this could change, but so far my personal conviction has been that there's so many people I see that don't want to turn to Christ because they say, "Oh, I got to give up drinking, I can't do it," or "Oh, I got to give up porn, I can't do it," or "I got to stop cussing, I can't do it," or "Oh man, I got to go to church every Sunday now, I can't do it." And so many people refuse to accept Christ because of just those kinds of things. And so that's why I feel it in my heart to just show people, for one, that Jesus is real, and for two, to show them what he's done in my life, to show them the mighty things that I've seen him do in my life and in other people's lives. I witnessed a healing on Monday. It was an incredible thing to behold. Someone had a healing. They had pain in their knee, and then after being prayed over, it was gone. It was awesome. And so I know Jesus works that way. But beyond that, beyond showing them who he is and his character, I think that God can take it from there. If they seek after Jesus and they want to read the Word and understand him better, Jesus will guide them and show them what they should and should not be doing. He will help their personal convictions begin to align with his. That's happened with me. There was a lot of things in the past that I enjoyed doing that were wrong, but I gained pleasure out of them. And at this point in my life, it grieves my spirit and it grieves me to even think about it. And so that's just a matter of my convictions and my heart being changed. It's just, I don't desire those things at all anymore. My desires are entirely different. As it says in The Chosen, I was one way, but now I'm completely different. And so that's been where my personal conviction has been, if that makes sense. And so I would say that is how I best answer question 7. Don't make it about going to church, worshiping with people. Those are all great things, having like-minded individuals, but make it about what God tells you. Make it about what God's Word says and what he reveals to you, is my best answer. All right, guys. Question number 8 is, LE, why is Donkey Dan with the littles? Y'all know he used to be with the big animals, with the donkeys and the cows and whatnot. But the reason he has been moved here is because the other female donkeys were being mean to him. It's kind of ironic because back in the past, you want pets, Donkey Dan? Come here, buddy. Back in the past, he used to be the one that was really mean to the females, to Imogene, to Ivy, and the other girls. But now it's come full circle to where the other one's being mean to him. I guess because he's fixed. He's not macho anymore. Doesn't have all that testosterone and the raging hormones. So he's prone to the bullying now. And as a result of that, my dad and Jamie figured it'd be best to move him here. And so that's why he's with the littles right now. The donkeys kind of go back and forth depending on the season and depending on, like, I guess, emotionally where they're at, because donkeys their personality just drastically changes at random times. I don't really know why exactly, but it's, for some reason, it seems to. So wherever we feel they're best at the time is where they'll be. And right now, Donkey Dan is doing well in the littles pasture. So that's why he's here. He's a sweet boy, though. He's a sweet boy now, even though he may not always have been. He's a sweet boy now. Isn't that right, Donkey Dan? Yeah, that's a good boy. That's a good donkey right there. All right, question number 7. Question number 9. What's wrong with me? No, question number 7 was 2 questions ago. Question number 9 I'm in is, Ellie, what are you afraid of? You know, that's a good question. I don't talk about things that I'm very fearful of very often, but I think we all have things that scare us and things that we are intimidated by in this world. And for me, there's a few things that I'm intimidated by. I do not like snakes. I'm terrified of snakes. I'm scared of spiders. I used to be, I guess, an insectophobe because it's funny. You can ask anybody that knew me when I was a little kid, and they will tell you that I was like horrified of bees and wasps, hornets, yellow jackets, which is just a wasp, and different things like that. And so, yeah, I used to be deathly afraid of them, which is weird because a lot of people are scared of things because they have a traumatic event happen when they're younger, and so it makes them afraid, like up into their adulthood and whatnot. But it's not like I was ever stung by a bee or a wasp. That's not the reason I became afraid of them. I don't know what it was. I was just terrified for some unknown reason. It was, I guess, because maybe I didn't like needles when I had to go to the doctor and get blood work or whatever, and they had like a needle looking thingy attached to their butt. Maybe that's why I was scared of them. But either way, that's what I was the most scared of as a kid. And right now, I'm not afraid of much, but I am afraid of spiders and snakes. I know some people are afraid of chickens. That's why I have chickens in frame right now. My dad's afraid of frogs. I'm not. I had a frog crawling on my face in that one video recently. I called it Fear of Frogs. So if y'all want to go look that up with the little frog on my face, you can type it in, Fear of Frogs, flip-flop farmer. But I'm not scared of that. Other people are afraid of, I don't know, I'm trying to think of the other things that people tend to be afraid of. Some people are afraid of, I guess, turkeys. Jake's afraid of cornholio. I'm not. I love cornholio. I suppose I'm intimidated by the cows and the horses sometimes going behind them because I'm afraid of getting kicked or whatever. I don't know. Some people are germaphobes. I'm not afraid of germs. I wash my hands before I eat when I feel that they're dirty to like remain healthy, but I'm not super nitpicky about if my hands are 100% clean or if I've just touched my phone or my Xbox controller before I've eaten. So I wouldn't say I'm a germaphobe or anything. I don't know. I guess it just depends. You guys let me know in the comments what you are intimidated by or afraid of. Oh, that is a bright sun right in my face. That's why I'm going into the shade to sit down. But Ellie, the final question in this video, number 10. Ellie, actually my dad is the one who asked me this one. Ellie, what is your favorite memory of Journey? I love that question. There are so many great memories of Journey. You have her sitting like a lady on the brush hog. You have her doing handstands. You have her screams. And those are all special moments, don't get me wrong. But you know what my favorite moment of Journey is? It might seem kind of random. I'm going to play it for you on the screen, but after I do, I'll explain why it's my favorite. Come on, sweet girls. Whoa, she's so fast. Journey's so fast. Oh my, she's chasing me, guys. She was literally chasing me. I couldn't even like move the camera as fast as she was going right there. You know, it may seem like a very simple moment, but I love that one because in that video, I think that was the first time, one of the first times at least, that I really recognized how much better her leg was getting, how much better she had gotten at walking. She was born with a deformity in her legs, and we didn't even think that she'd be able to walk, period. We were even thinking about getting that little wheelchair because we did not think she'd be able to walk. But somehow she got better and better. She went from like hopping around to kind of limping, and from limping to walking. And then in that video, it went from walking to full on running the same speed that Trixie was. And you can hear the excitement in my voice. I think when I hear myself and how excited I was in that video, it just reminds me of like how impressed and how proud of her I was. That video is called Journey's Agility, by the way. It's on both my YouTube and Facebook of Flip Flop Farmer if y'all want to see it. But during that entire video, I was just expressing how proud of her I was. It was like maybe one of the first times that it really sunk into my heart. And so I would say all the things she did in that Journey's Agility video are amongst my favorites. She went up and down the steps for one of the first few times ever. Like I said, she was running so fast. Just a very bubbly and energetic personality. You know what I mean? So I would answer it like that. I think that the thing she did in that video when she was running so fast, and especially that very beginning segment that I just showed you, that is my favorite memory of Journey. You know, guys, it's been an awesome Q&A video. I thank you guys for all the questions that you asked me. I love you all. I am always here for any single one of you. I love seeing y'all's comments about how much you love our family and our animals. A lot of you guys leave comments about how the animals here and maybe our lives can relate to yours, different things that are going on in your own lives, good or bad. And so that's what this community and this family is all about. We'll always be here for you no matter what, guys. And so, you know, with that said, I hope y'all enjoyed this Q&A video. If y'all want me to do another one, be sure to let me know in the comments. Let me know any other questions you might have that I didn't get to in this video. I hope you guys have a great day. And as I always say, your boy Ellie out.